Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Alexis Renee. If you're new, hi. A lot of you are new because you saw the title of this video. Maybe you just found out that you're pregnant. Maybe you're having concerns that you're pregnant. I know when I was going through that, I was looking for some kind of relief, some kind of console to make me feel better, and I hope this video does that for you. And if you're out there and you're really scared and you feel like the world is ending, I don't want you to compare yourself to my story. I don't want you to feel like things would be better if you were in my shoes, in my situation, because I felt the same way at some point as you, and you got this. Whatever the result is, whatever happens, it is a blessing, and no matter which way you look at it or whatever it is, it's your choice at the end of the day. And I just want you to feel supported and loved, and I hope that this video brings you some kind of comfort. Yeah, so congratulations if you're happy, but I just want to preface this video saying that this was not something that I had planned. This was not something that I even saw in the next year or two. So this is all very surprising, but very exciting to say the least. And I think it's all a part of a bigger plan that we are not in control of. So yeah. Without further ado, let's jump right into the video and tell you my story of finding out that I'm pregnant at 23 years old. Well, I've actually found out that I was pregnant at 22, and then I turned 23. So, first things first, I have my notebook here. How and why did I get pregnant? I was on birth control. Not when I got pregnant though. So, I've been on birth control since the time I was 16, I think, 16, maybe 15. And I took the pill. I tried like the NuvaRing, but I always reverted back to the pill. I took Sprintec and then I moved to Sprintec. Now, I haven't always been super aware of my body and how it feels all the time. So when I decided that I was gonna try to get off birth control, it was because I was feeling not the best. I was constantly moody. I would just be like angry or annoyed or upset with people that I loved, and that's not really like me, and it was literally for no reason at all. So that was really frustrating. Yeah, I just felt like I had no control over my emotions at all. I just felt like at a flip of a switch, I could have a good or bad day. I would wake up and I just didn't feel in control, and I wanted to figure out what it was, if it was the birth control. So I had my last period. The start of it was May 15th, and I decided after that period I was going to stop taking my birth control. Now, I did not think that the second you get off birth control, you are fertile myrtle. And so I think I was off birth control 5 days, and I like dated it back from my due date, and yeah, I was off birth control for 5 days before I got pregnant. Literally right away. And with that being said, we weren't using any extra protection. We were being careful, if you know what I mean, but yeah, everyone knows how a baby happens, so I'm not gonna sit here and say that I didn't expect it. I didn't expect it, but at that point I was being naive to the fact that I wasn't on birth control anymore. So if you're thinking about getting off birth control, please, if you're not ready to get pregnant, use a condom. Do better. Not do better. Just be cautious, because you will get pregnant right away. That, at least in my experience, I know that's not everyone's experience. And if you're trying for a child, then maybe it's a different experience. And if you're struggling for a child, of course, I want to take all of that into consideration. But in my experience, if you're not ready for a child and you want to get off birth control because of all the terrible side effects, just be aware that that is a possibility. Now, let's get into finding out I was pregnant. I didn't find out I was pregnant until I was 8 weeks pregnant, which is 2 months. And so, date of conception, May 29th. I didn't find out I was pregnant until July 8th. Now, some of my first signs, I thought this whole time, were just symptoms of coming off of birth control, cold turkey. So, of course I was Googling because I missed my first period in June. I didn't get a period. And that was cause for concern because that's never happened to me before. And I've gotten off birth control before, but I wasn't having sex. And I got my period and everything. So that was a little concerning, but I was Googling and it was like common for women to not have their period after quitting birth control. So I wasn't really concerned. I had all of the period symptoms, which are indeed pregnancy symptoms. I had very tender breasts. I had food aversions. I was peeing way more frequently, especially in the middle of the night. I had cramping, all of that. But the boobs is what really sent me. And I feel like a lot of people don't talk about this, but it is like a very common first sign of pregnancy is your nipples literally start to turn into pacifiers. And yeah, that was happening, and I was like, whoa, this is a little different. This is a little different than a period boob tenderness, if you know what I'm saying. So I brought it up to my boyfriend, and he was like, okay, we'll take a test. And I was like, okay. At the time I was at his parents' house because, backstory, my boyfriend and I were long distance. He graduated college. I still lived in Houston. He lived at home because he was preparing to play professional basketball overseas. So he was training with, basketball training and weight training all summer. So I had gone down there to visit him, and I was telling him about my concerns and stuff, and he was like, okay, we'll take a test. But we wanted to go work out first. So worked out, got through the workout fine. This whole time I was working out pretty intensely, which I think is why I'm pretty healthy, or I didn't have like a lot of the symptoms that, I don't know. Everyone is different. Let me just say that. I don't want you to, that's why I said in the beginning, like, don't compare your experience to mine, because every single person is literally different. And my experience is probably different than your experience, but if there's any insight I can give you, that's what I'm hoping this video is for. So get through the workout, we get back to his house. I'm feeling pretty like exhausted, and mind you, I work out quite a bit, so this was different for me. I felt like winded, I felt nauseous, like I was gonna throw up, and then his mom had made dinner for us, and I remember walking over in the kitchen to fix myself a plate, and immediately had to run to the bathroom because it almost made me throw up. And it's not like the food was like nasty or anything, it was like the smell, and I don't know. So I was having food aversions. That was another symptom, and I was like, okay, this is weird. But of course kept blaming it on the birth control, was in complete denial. I was like, there's no way, there's literally no way. So in that weekend, we forget to take the test. So I head back home and everything's fine. I go to a 4th of July weekend, everything's fine. And then that Sunday, when I got back from 4th of July, I was like, whoa, it's July and I haven't had a period. This is weird. I've always gotten my period, even on the pill, like I still had my period. So it was very weird for my body to not have a period. And the more I thought about it, I was like, this isn't normal. Like, I know that quitting birth control, you cannot have your period, but I've quit birth control before and I got my period. So this is like very weird for me, and I kept having cramps. Like, I had kept having all the symptoms of a period and no period. So I brought it up to my boyfriend again. I'm like, I'm really worried, like I want to take a test. But at this point I was back home. I didn't want to take a test without him. So he was like, okay, I'm getting worried too, like we'll take a test. I'll come down this weekend and we'll take a test. So now I have to wait a week to find out if I'm pregnant. And this is when I started spiraling into anxiety, fear, doubt, all of that. And it starts getting really scary. I'm not eating. And you know, the cure to all of this is to take the test, but I really was not mentally ready to see that test and not be able to like hug my boyfriend, or like, you know, I wasn't ready for him to not be there. That was just something that I really needed him there for, and he really wanted to be there for, whatever the outcome was. So that week was really, really hard. I kind of didn't do anything. I was in my head a lot, and just anxiety, just freaking out, literally freaking myself out, because I think I knew what the answer was, but I didn't want to admit that to myself. So I wanted to read you a journal entry that I did before I knew anything. And in this journal entry, I sound really positive, and that's not to say that I was freaking out, because I was just doing it in silence alone. Okay, so this was literally July 5th. I missed my period. I haven't taken a test, but I'm starting to get worried. I don't want to take a test without Devin. He has to be there. I did stop taking birth control and thought that could be the reason for missing my period. I'm worrying myself up. I know that you have a plan and I trust it. Family trauma has made me believe that now my life will be over, and there is a lot of fear in that. I know that I can handle anything you throw at me, and that a child is a blessing. This is something I've always thought about, but didn't see it happening like this. I know Devin would be the most amazing dad and husband. Maybe this is all a part of the plan. I'm sitting here at my apartment pool just wanting to cry and wish that everything was back to normal. But whatever this is, I know it is a lesson, and I hear you. Allow me to see clear, to hear clear. So after I left the apartment and went out by the pool and journaled that, I felt a lot of peace come over me. I think I just needed a moment, a reminder that we are not in control again. Whatever happens to me is for the greater good. and that I will always be okay and I will always have everything I need. So after that, I felt good. But as like the days got longer, because at that point I had to go 3 more days, and so I didn't journal. I just kind of was in my head going back and forth about all the possibilities and like what my life was gonna look like, and it was really scary. And I didn't really console in anyone. It wasn't like something that I was like, girl, I think I'm pregnant. Like, no, I was going through a lot alone. Of course, like with my boyfriend, like I was talking to him a lot, but he was very like, you know, we got this, like whatever it is, like we got this, like very supportive and just reassuring, which was great. But at the end of the day, like I'm very independent, and I have a plan in place. I have a plan, but I don't know. Like I said, it wasn't part of the plan, but at the end of the day, what is the plan? Like, we're not in control. So the day comes where we have to take the test. We get the test and we take it. I told my boyfriend, I was like, okay, if it's 1 line, that means I'm not pregnant. If it's 2 lines, I'm pregnant. So I couldn't even look at it. I take the test and we set it on the counter, and I like have my face buried in a pillow on the bed, and he's standing in the bathroom waiting, and then he flips it over and he's like, oh, we're good, 1 line. And I was like, wait, really? And I go back over there and it's 2 lines. It's the line, like the test line and the faint line, and the test line is like bright red, like, girl, you're pregnant. And the like other line was just barely there, and he was like, no, it's 1 line, like the other line is so faint. I'm like, no, you don't understand how many videos I've watched. Like, I'm pregnant. Like, it doesn't matter if that line is barely there, like the line is there. You know, it wouldn't be there at all if you weren't pregnant. So we took another one because I wanted him to like be for sure. And again, like the line was faint, but it was there. And you know, guys don't really, I've watched tons of like, I love pregnancy, I love babies, all the people I watch. So I wasn't trying to get pregnant, but I'm just saying, like, I watch a lot of that stuff, so I knew. And so I was like, okay, we gotta go get like the digital test that literally spells out pregnant, so that he can be at the same place I am, like, for sure. So go to Kroger, get the test, come back, take it literally right away, pregnant. And both of us were not happy. Like, it was not a joyful moment at all. Like, we were both very scared of the unknown. Devin had been training for months to go play overseas. Like, he was leaving, and he didn't know if now he would have to quit basketball and throw in the towel for everything, because now a baby's on the way, and I didn't know what it looked like if he left. There was just so much unknown, and it just wasn't something we could have ever imagined happening right now. So it wasn't like a happy, like, I didn't even film it because I was like, I know the outcome of this it's not going to be a moment that I want to like have recorded, because I knew at the end of the day we would be happy and so ready and in love and feeling amazing about having a child. But I knew in those first moments it was gonna be uncomfortable. So we just kind of like comforted each other. We didn't really say much. We just like hugged each other. And then it got to a point where we started talking and, just comforted each other, like reassured that neither of us were leaving and that this is in our plan. Like, we imagined this for our life together. Like, I imagined having kids with him, and I could see that. And so at the end of the day, I was so beyond grateful to have him, and without him, I wouldn't be where I am now, about everything. But it was hard. It was really hard, and we didn't want to disappoint our families. We weren't young, like, we're not in high school, and I'm not saying if you're in high school that you did something wrong, but I'm saying, like, I have a job, like, I provide for myself for the most part, and yeah, like, but again, it wasn't what we didn't plan on it, so it was a surprise. So yeah, we tell my mom. I'm obviously very upset, and she kind of was hesitant at first, and then she was like, okay, like, this is happening. So scheduled a doctor's visit, went to the doctor. At this point, me and Devin were in a really good place about everything. I told him that there's no way you're giving up your basketball dream. Like, this is what's best for our family, and I will support you and this child so that you can go and chase your dreams, because at the end of the day, that's what's best for our family. Like, our kids need to see that. And we were in a really good spot, and both felt very supported by each other. We had told our parents, and yeah, everyone was being supportive for the most part. And we went to the doctor, and we saw the baby, and when I heard that first heartbeat, oh my God, like, I just lost it. It's the most incredible, beautiful thing, that something is living and growing inside of you, and it is the most pure thing. And you just, like, it just hit me. It was like this thing, this person, like, they didn't ask to be here. They're just here, and they're a part of me. Like, they're a part of my boyfriend. Like, it's a really beautiful experience, and incredible hearing that first heartbeat. So after that, slowly started breaking the news to other family members, and then eventually everyone knew. And the amount of support and love that I have received from every single person that has been a part of this journey has been the one reason why I'm okay, and I feel okay, and I feel like, no matter what, like, I'll be fine. Like, there's so many people around me that love me and want to support me. And so if you know someone, or you're in a spot where your family is maybe not the most supportive of this, like, go seek out other support. Like, lean on that. Like, that is the most important thing during this time, is just, like, leaning on your loved ones. And my friends, even, like, a lot of my friends have been my number one support during this time, and I've really leaned on that. And I'm very much independent, and I'm not the friend that's gonna call you for every problem that she has. But during this time, like, I really leaned on my friends, and I really counted on them to be there for me, and they've shown up, and it's been incredible. And both of our families have been super supportive, and yeah, that's kind of the story. I'm 15 weeks, 5 days today. I know the gender. You guys will know, or you can check out my Instagram. It's already up on my Instagram, but I'll be posting my moving vlog soon, which will have the gender reveal in it. And yeah, that is the story. My boyfriend is overseas. He left, and he won't be back for 9 months. So yeah, it's gonna be something that I've never experienced before, obviously. But I really am gonna take this time, and I think everything is falling into place of creating the content that I've always wanted to create, and I feel like I have purpose behind it, and I feel like my story is something that I really want to share, and maybe I didn't have a story before. So yeah, subscribe, like, and of course I'm sending you the most love and support, and please feel free to comment, follow my Instagram, DM me. Like, I will be that friend for you if you're in need of some kind of support or love. Yeah, anyways, I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.